Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Now in the last episode, I decided to build something fairly unorthodox, just for the challenge and for the fun of it. And that was a new oil facility located here in Blue Crater, but instead of localizing the power here, which would make sense, I decided to go big brain and ship 2,500 oil halfway across the map. That's 2,500 per minute. To do that, that meant pumping oil about 150 meters vertically across 5 different pipes, and then to keep the facility running, we had to distribute it to 13 different freight cars on a train. So it was quite a messy thing to get right. Turned out to be a bit more of a headache than I thought. But now that it's all in place, it's time to actually harness that oil and build a big addition to my power facility. But before we do that, I've made some improvements here, mostly to the aesthetics. I haven't changed any of the logistics, so everything's intact from the previous episode, but as people know, in between episodes, I like to clean things up, make it look a bit more believable. So let's take a look. Boom! This is our new... I don't even know really what to call it. I just call it the Blue Crater Oil Facility. Such a plain name, but that's basically what it is. We have our big tower, which is effectively our pump house, holding the 5 pipes going vertically, and then we've got the train station, and that's it. You know, that's really all that's happening here. But just to have a quick walk around, we have our different oil extractors now lettered. I like to organize things via letters or numbers, so we can always trace back problems to where they're originating. You know, if I see that pipe A has a problem, I know which extractor to go to. Anyway, so we have E and F here, both doing 600, I think, per minute, and then this travels along this kind of new sort of pipe bridge that I've sort of made. I'm actually really happy with this. I experimented around for quite a while with different ideas, and I was actually on a stream when I kind of came up with this one. So, gone with a concrete foundation with a frame foundation encapsulating the 2 pipes inside, and then the 1 meter wall holding that kind of steel on the top and bottom, and then a little walkway on top. I just think it looks quite nice in terms of like holding the metal pipes inside, making it a metal. To me, I thought looked quite good. And obviously then on the bottom we can just see I'm filtering power along there. So you can walk along that, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It just sort of ends, and there's a ladder to climb down if you want. We'll just take this area. Fortunately, the leaves are kind of graphically bugged there. The sun is setting. We actually might see the lights come on soon, which would be cool. Alright. So we've got our other extractors just there, obviously. I paint everything black and gold. Black is my color for crude oil, and gold is also for oil as well for me because it gives you power. So those are the 2 trim I always go with whenever dealing with crude oil. Alright, so we just have this little sort of mini roof then with lights on, some pillars holding the roof up, obviously for structural integrity. This is where the bridge sort of ends, and these 2 pipes can kind of come down and join the other 5. Obviously, to keep everything separate, everything's under 600, and then one just has 150 at the end. And that's basically it. So we'll go inside the pump house now. And we had seen bits of this before. I had said that I wanted to have this glass case encapsulating the hypertube that can take us right to the top of the pump tower. We have the floors numbered as well, and I've just used my standard sort of blueprint for going up and around the stairs there. Pretty straightforward, broken up with some of the metal sheeting on the walls, just to kind of give it a bit of depth. And then we have our 5 pipes with their various amounts, and then lights for the outside, the exterior, and the interior. So that's basically it. I think it looks quite good. I think it really came together quite nicely, and I think it's vastly complemented, I would say, by the lighting here at Blue Crater, because it's down in this like fog. Looks really, really nice. It gives a really good atmosphere to the place. So yeah, let's travel up. So this will take us straight to the train station at the very, very top, but there is one floor below that, which is like pump maintenance. I kind of have a philosophy in this game, as I'm sure a lot of people do, which is that the pioneer, the player, should always be able to get to everything you've ever built. Now, some people might tuck things deep under concrete, inaccessible, unless they remove things, and that's fine, but I've just always felt that... Oh, the lights have just come on now, by the way. I've always felt that as a maintenance worker, you'd want to be able to get to different things. So here we have pipe maintenance. Now, this could have all just been encapsulated in concrete, but this way it's like we've got valves and different information about what the different pipes are doing, and it's all lit up, and it's got its own special walkway. I think that's kind of nice. Now, it's not that it doesn't need to be very nice looking in here, because it's really not going to be seen very often, but I think it's just part of the charm of having this place accessible. So yeah, basically we just have the different 5 pipes going up to their respective fluid buffers. And that's really it. It's just if I ever need to come in here and check that something's wrong, I can trace the pipe back and see what's going on. Some of the painting doesn't really work on these pipes. That seems to just be a bug in the game at the moment. I have painted them, but on reload, it kind of overwrites it. So that just happens, I guess. Alright, let's just head upstairs then again. So this is also just where I have my Mark 1 pipes. Some people mentioned in the comments, why am I using Mark 1 pipes? Well, below they're using Mark 2. But just to get that little extra head lift, I only needed Mark 1. Because we're only going up another 10 or so meters just to get to the very end. So that's why. Alright, so up here at floor 5, we then have the train station. And we've this nice little illuminated lights on the bottom floor. So this is the strip lights that you can use, the signs, right? And you just color the back of them to be one specific color, and then you increase the emission strength to make it look like lights. But they don't actually act as lights. They don't add any lighting to the area. It's just sort of a screen space trickery sort of thing that's going on. Anyway, in here we have our actual train station. Pretty much the same as before, but I've added now extra fluid buffers. So we had the one big fluid buffer, and I previously split that into 3 to go into 3 platforms each. But someone pointed out very astutely that that wouldn't really make any sense. You need to have them go into smaller buffers before the actual train station, otherwise they're just all going to get backed up when the trains are loading and unloading. This way we've got buffers after each individual pipe, which makes a lot more sense. So the one on the end is doing 150, every other one is then split into 3 doing 600 each, so 200 each into each buffer. And then into the train itself. Got lights up on these pillars. It's the first time I've actually gone with this sort of angular pillar. So I used to use the regular pillars in the menu, but now I'm just using foundations that lead up all the way with a ramp on top to give it that angle at the very top there. My music keeps cutting in and out, so just hang on just 1 second. Hopefully it stays on now. Alright, so that's basically it. So we're just going to hop on a train and get the hell out of here, but I'll just show you really quickly, now that it is nighttime, it can look quite atmospheric. We'll just hop back down to the very bottom one last time and have a look at it from the bottom. And we go very fast when we go down here. Alright, so this is the exit. So yeah, I don't know, I just think it looks kind of cool. Obviously it's just this like little shed looking thing, but with the lighting in this place, I think it looks quite nice. It's a shame that some of the lighting is partially bugged or whatever you want to call it, where it obviously spills out of the actual tower itself. But still, I think it looks quite cool. Looks really, really nice. Alright, so we're now going to turn back on the UI. We have our to-do list on the right-hand side of the screen. Today is a big job. We need to build 13 freight platforms. We need to add the foundations to the overall oil facility to handle 42 refineries, which is then going to go into 140 generators. And then the refineries are going to have a byproduct of polymer resin, and then we'll do the fluid logistics to hook everything up as well. Now, you might be thinking, did you ever get your diluted fuel? I did not. I actually searched around the map vociferously looking for hard drives. So I went up here, and I found, I don't know, 6 or 7 hard drives in that radar tower circle. I've actually gone around all these different radar towers and picked up something around the amount of about 10 hard drives. And I've just been unlucky. I've gotten a bunch of different things. I actually just can't really remember what I've even gotten, to be honest. I can go through I actually recorded it all. Could go through the footage of what I got, but nothing that I need right now, basically. I didn't get anything that has to do anything with fuel. So I'm just going to plow ahead and use the standard fuel recipe, and then in the future, when I do get it, I guess I can modify the power plant and try to use diluted fuel. I don't even know what it is. I'm guessing you mix it with water or something, you get more out of it, but I actually haven't looked at it yet. I just know everyone keeps telling me to get it, and I really did try, but I'm not waiting any longer. People are yelling at me all the time, where's the next episode? Where's the next episode? It's like I'm rolling RNG for flipping fuel here. So yeah, alright, without any further delay, I'm gonna get upstairs, hop on a train, and I'll go to the oil processing plant. I've got an inventory full of stuff, hopefully that will allow us to make most of what we need, and some of it's already in place. I put the railways in place just because that can be a real pain to get that right in the junctions and stuff like that, so it should be good to go. Alrighty, I've arrived at the oil processing terminal. It's actually daytime still because I had to reload the game because the music kept cutting out. It was just a weird thing. Anyways, so this is the one little rail line that I made kind of in my own time. It's just like the other two, but it's evenly spaced. I found that about 7 platforms or 7 foundations distance seems to be a good amount to allow you to have these nice kind of curves. But yeah, it was a bit finicky, so I decided just to do that in between episodes. Also, I've been kind of looking at signals. This one here, the kind of bigger square block than the 2 smaller circular blocks on the actual signal, that's a path signal. Now, path signals are supposed to kind of look ahead and say, okay, is the path, the route that you want to take through a few signals good? Can you do it? And if you can, then it opens up and lets trains to go through it. So it sort of looks ahead. It only looks ahead to other path signals. This would be an end one because the next one's a block. Now, an issue with path signals that I learned is that you can't actually put them before train stations. So this is where the train station is going to start. And because of that, I've created these sort of smaller little block signals just right after path signals, basically. And that seems to have really cleared up a lot of traffic, because on this sort of intersection thing, they sort of look ahead. So there's a path signal there, and they go, okay, can I go through to this path, or can I go through to that one, or can I go through to that one? And if they can, you know, just they will, and it smoothens things out big time. Probably not explaining it very well, but I can't really dwell on it too much longer without taking up too much time. But yeah, when trains get running, maybe I can discuss it further. But it's running way better now, basically, is where I'm at for that. Because I was trying to use path signals, and I was noticing everyone was just getting backed up. Now it's running quite smoothly. We'll see how it goes once this place gets added on. Anyway, so we have our to-do list. Freight platforms is the first thing to do. So I've obviously just emptied out this area, built one station here, and connected the 2 railways up. I think I've left the exact amount I need to add 13 in here. I should have the amount I need with me. I've just got an inventory full of crap. I have heavy modular frames just being made in the background. While I was doing all the hard drive hunting, I had them getting made just out here, somewhere out there. I can't really remember exactly where, and they're still getting made right now, because I need so many of them, and I'm getting low on oscillators. So definitely heavy modular frames and oscillators and AI limiters and radio control units. Those are the next few factories I'm going to be making. Right, so let's begin. Fluid freight platform. Let's go. So I think I'll have it facing inside. I don't think there's a problem with that. So we need 13 of them. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Alright, we got 5, 6, 7. 10, 11. And there we go. And are we hooked up? We are hooked up. Perfect. Great. Alright, cool. So just really quickly, we'll just paint it black and yellow. Why not? In fact, in this area, I just realized maybe I'll just equip the hoverpack instead of hopping around too much. Good. Alright, yeah, let's just color this really quickly then. It's as easy as that. I wish you could fly, you know, what's the word? Sprint, I guess, with the hoverpack, if you know what I mean. Like, move a bit faster with it. Alright, sun is setting again. So that is the freight platforms in place, and now we need to hook them all up with their pipes. And they need to go downstairs to, well, basically 42 refineries. So they're each going to be doing 200 out per minute in theory overall, but combined onto pipes worth of 600 again. So this will be the Audi pipes. And they're being told to load, so we have to set them all individually to unload, which is kind of annoying. Can I even copy those settings? No, I can't. Alright, so unload for all 13 of these, and then we'll hook in the floor pipes and start working at seeing what's below us, actually. And 13 was a mistake. And I said it would be fun. It is fun. I'm only joking. Alright, so let's scroll along to floor holes. Here we are. And just before we go too far with this, let me just see, does this work? Oh no, what am I missing? Iron plates and iron rods. Oh right, I just assumed you need copper sheeting. Alright, well, I've got all that stuff. I've got everything, trust me, that I need here. I'm pretty sure I've got everything anyway. So we'll just go downstairs and grab that stuff. And then I'm going to also have a look below and see what's kind of going on down here. In fact, let's just cut through right now and see. Yeah. Okay, the only thing that will get in the way slightly are these belts, but we can move them. This is actually a mess. It's layered on top of itself twice. So we'll just cut all that away. We can just see the actual platforms. Now, I'll have floor holes to make it look good. But I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. This is just a gap with nothing, right? Yeah. Alright, that's not too bad. And then we've got this roof just looking absolutely awful. Let's get rid of some of that. That doesn't really need to be here. I feel like when I put it down, it didn't clip, because I would not have left it that way. Sometimes I feel like I load into this game and it looks different than it did. Just get rid of this as well. Alright, so that was the metal foundation, and then we just got the concrete underneath the actual train station. And that should... Below me now, I think it lead... I don't actually know what happens below here, but doesn't it lead outside? Yeah, that's the ventilation area. Okay, that's totally fine as well. Cool. Yeah, this is all good. This is all empty space, basically, we can work with. So no problem. The pipes can come down here, no issue. Alrighty. So, yeah, the plan is to have these and to maybe make it asphalt and bring it all the way across. So let me just get rid of that and that and that to not have these so thick. Something like that. And that's the very end there. Just wondering, does it need to be a foundation of 4? It actually might be okay like that, but yeah, it needs to be either way. Asphalt. I know I could have just changed it with the customizer, but it's okay. Foundations. Let's go with asphalt. Stick it right in there. I think I'm okay with that. And then we'll put all the floor holes in. You know, it would have been a good idea, darn. What? Blueprinting this. Does that even... Would that even fit inside a blueprint, a train station? Because I could have just had the floor holes ready. But oh well. I'll actually probably... Thinking about it, with all these... I mean, 140 generators. I don't know if I'm going to do anything special to them, but it might be worth thinking about blueprinting them. So that's super close, tight-knit. And we'll need pipeline Mark 1, no indicator. And it can just go straight down like that, can it? Clean. Alright, that looks good. Yeah, so we'll just do that several times over. So, let's see. What is it? 4 holes. Okay, and it just needs to be on the out. And right below where it comes in. Alrighty, so there we go. That's 13 freight platforms all hooked up with their little pipe that feeds downstairs. So that means on our to-do list, freight platforms is now ticked off. So that is done. Easy peasy. And they're all set to unload, so they should be good, and it has power. Yep. Yep. Alright, so now we have to do foundations and figure out how we're going to distribute all this. So underneath, of course, we have now our little floor holes all lined up. And that effectively needs to duplicate what's happening on the output end, right? So we have fluid buffers, so 200, 200, 200 per minute, all can go on one pipe of 600 per minute into a fluid buffer, and then we can distribute that somewhere to do something. And that's basically what we're going to do. So I'm just trying to think, we don't really want it to aim this way, we want it to kind of aim out that way, and because that's where we've got most space, and that's where extra water is and stuff, so in the future, if we're doing something with diluted fuel, we can perhaps, you know, it's better to be building over there, I think. It's also flat, so it's easier than, let's say, building on the hill out this way. So this rough area that I'm kind of pointing at, that's kind of where I want to be building, I think. Okay, so let me just see. So let's just start. Fluid buffer is what we need. And we're going to get hit by that auto-resolve, or auto-save, in a second. We need 5 of these. So just wait for that. Pop it down somewhere in the middle, and then see what we can do with the pipes later on. So it's 1, 2, 3. Maybe if we were completely mirroring it, what we should probably do is have the smallest buffers first. Oh, I can barely afford actually that many, I think. We need 13. Do I have enough modular frames for them? Just regular modular frames. Yes, I do, actually. Okay, cool. So that's what I'll do. So this is coming down here. I just need to... I'm going to get off the thing, because it's actually moving just slightly, like people have said many times. Alright, sorry for opening this menu so much. Let's go fluid buffer. There we go. And it needs to be just straight along this line and give itself a decent amount of distance. So that's the other thing, I'm just trying to work out the distance. It's so hard to see if it's like aligned or not. I think it is there. Alright, and let's just pop it, I don't know, in the corner here like that. So that's not enough distance. Good job, Darren. So let's just do something like this. Cut that one, bring that one here. Yeah? Yeah? Something like that, and then this can just come straight down. It'll be a pipeline Mark 1, no indicator please. Maybe horizontal to vertical. So it looks like, just judging, we can maybe move this over 1 or 2 little indents if you just want to kind of correct that and make it look a little bit better. In fact, there might work, so let's try that. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, so we can change that pipe. I just wanted to quickly throw one down. So pipeline mark 1. So there we go. And we're going to have to do that. At least we now have it mapped out where it needs to be. We're going to have to do that 13 times over. So there's one, and it's just going to have to line itself up, and then we'll just lock it in place to the other ones. Easy as that. Alright, there we go. So there's 13 small buffers in place, each with their pipes coming straight down and into them. So now we got to merge them up into bigger pipes. They don't necessarily need to go into buffers themselves, I guess. They just need to go into bigger pipes, right? Yeah, I think so. And then we'll build the kind of refineries. We could do it up on this floor, actually, really. We've got all the space out here. Could just go straight out here. Don't see why not. Actually, I think I'm not going to build on top of those chimney stacks, because then we're going up really high, and if I ever need, for some reason, more room upstairs, like for other trains or something like that, I think I'll just leave the upstairs part. There's plenty of room out this way, like I said, so I'll probably just expand out here, and that way we've got all the chimney stacks at the same height. That could look kind of cool in and of itself, actually, as well. So we'll just build the refineries down here, alongside the same height as the plastic refineries. These are basically doing plastic. Some of them are actually doing fuel. This is the very first area that I ever built in this facility, and then we built bigger and bigger ones out further back, and now this one's probably going to be the largest going out that way, so we'll just keep it consistent, I think, rather than just randomly layering it on top for no reason. But that does mean that we need, I guess, 5 pipes just a similar way traveling along here, so they're going to have to merge and come down in straight lines, and that way they can kind of all come down here and then cut out towards the various refineries that need them. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So I'm just going to get doing that now. That's going to be really tedious, so I'll probably speed this one up. Okay, there we go. So all the pipes are now kind of hooked up on their own lane, right? So we have 600, 600, 600, 600, and then the 150 at the end. So that's, I don't really know exactly how these refineries are going to be laid out, so this final bit here may change, but now I'm going to build out the foundations down below and kind of stack a bunch of... So basically these refineries do 60 each, so I think it's 10 per pipe then, right? 600, so I think they take in 60 for fuel. Let's just check. Not, oh, there it is, sorry. Yeah, so crude oil 60 per minute. So if the pipe is doing 600, so that means we can feed 10 of these machines. So 10 refineries on each pipe will basically work out. I imagine this may have to actually extend down a bit longer, but, or maybe not. Maybe we could just do some different pipe work as they go down below. All right, so yeah, let's just get started with that now. Let's just build out some of these foundations. I should have a pretty good amount of concrete with me. So we'll start here. Something like that, and yeah, that's 10. We'll just have to chip away at this. Alrighty, so we've got our 5 pipes in place. I've expanded this area out now. Big old foundation with a little walkway between rooms, and I've changed the windows from the hexagonal support windows to just the full frame windows, so it's sort of like this is now the hallway, and we can have doors and stuff in between. We can cut away these steel pipes as well. So this could be like a doorway that leads into, you know, the plastic refinery part of this factory. So we need 10 refineries for every pipe, except for the final pipe, which needs few. I can't remember how much, but 150, so I guess 2.5 refineries, basically. And then this is 10, 10, 10, 10, and 2.5. Yep, that's basically how it's going to work. So 42.5 refineries in total, something like that. So I guess the pipes can just feed straight down, and then we can lay these out. Maybe worth building a blueprint designer. Do I have the components for it? I do. Oh, I'm actually just a tiny bit short on steel. That's alright. Let's just grab some off this wall here. And this one. Well, I loaded up the rubber refinery, and I've just changed the signs now to say fuel, and I changed the color on the out pipe and the in pipe. So we've got crude oil coming in, and then coming out is going to be polymer resin and fuel. So really quickly, 30 per minute and 40 per minute. So 40 per minute on that pipe. So we're going to have one of those elevators in here. And it's only going to need to be a Mark 1, I guess. Something like that. That's going to be polymer resin. And then we'll hook everything up. So I think I just save that. That's all I really need to do. And then we can just stack them next to each other. And that just saves a little bit of time. So we'll call this refinery fuel. Just standard fuel recipe. Select the icon for fuel. There we go. And say machines in refinery. Yeah, that's cool. Save it. Good. Alright, now we'll clear the designer. Take apart the blueprint machine, and I think we're good to get building it. So very much the same as I've done in here with plastic and plastic especially. The fact that it has an output like this, that's going to be quite important. I'm just trying to think if I want to face them correctly against each other. Maybe it'd be a good idea to also hook up the mergers, and we could stack maybe 2 side by side, maybe even 3 side by side, considering if they're just going to be side by side anyway, and we need 10. 2 would be a pretty good number to work with, right? So maybe I'll do that. I'll load up 2. We'll hook up little mergers. Oh wait, no point doing the merger because we won't be able to do the opposite side. Okay, then we can just spam as many as we can then. Alright, that's basically going to be the general layout. So I need to just configure space between them so that 2 foundations can pretty much fit nicely, nice and snug underneath the things here. So it's going to take a little bit of lining up from me. If I just have a look at this, so that looks like it's about on the corner there, 1 or 2 indents away. I suppose another way to check this would be checking out our measuring tool, if you want to call it that, our road barrier. And we can see that like halfway through the road barrier, pretty much dead on half, is where we need to come in from a foundation. And we've got 1 full foundation. And then on this side, it's the same thing, is it? It looks like it. It's hard to see. Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, it's dead in the center. I'm looking at the red lines cutting through the center. That's a good way of doing it, right? So we know that it's 1 full foundation plus a half road barrier, which I think is a quarter foundation. So yeah, let's just work on that then. And I think that's generally the layout that I'm going to go for. So alright, good. There we go. We got it. Finally got it. So they're lined up now. They should have the correct spacing. And now they just need to add on to each other. So we need to build quite a lot of these. 40 in total. So we'll just aim them this way, hold control. Just before I fall off of this, let's just spread our power out this way so I can fly the whole way down. Alright, I'm not sure how much I've got in my inventory to be able to do all this. I think I've got enough. I have enough definitely in the other room to get the rest of the stuff. So that's 2. And we can hold control for this. 3. Alrighty, I think I've got everything I need now. Took a little while, but I've got everything together. Alright, let's continue. So we've got 5 already. We need another 5 on this row. Oh, probably out of concrete now, am I? I still got a little bit. Just bring that out even further. Alright. Boom, boom. And we just look at this one. Snap like that. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, that's our first 10. We'll add another 9 here now to make it 10 in total. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we might just start with that for now, because thinking about it, like, I don't even know if I've got the power to power any of this stuff on. I do have batteries giving me a decent amount of backup power just to get the ball rolling, but you'd almost want to... I don't want to turn any of these on until the fuel generators are in place, I guess. So that's a line of 10, another line of 10. So we need 2 more of these, and then a small line of just 2 extra, and they have to get our pipes to kind of line up. Just trying to think, do I need to... Could I bring them down in another line that way? And just extend out this way, or do we want to go in further over here? I guess it depends on how much this hill comes up, really. Because I don't want to creep in through. It's going to creep through. We could push it out further, actually, thinking about it. That would actually kind of work out. So let me just try this then. If we started actually down here instead. Excuse me, little bird fellow. Bird person. Is that far enough? That might be okay, and then this can just extend out that way. Alrighty, so I've identified a problem. Unfortunately, this isn't enough space to stack 2 refineries next to each other in the same layout that I did over there. So what I'm going to do is raise this side of the foundations. I mean, it's not enough space unless I was to, you know, build foundations there and then creep through the ground. It would just look weird. So what I got to do is actually chop away some of these trees, raise probably another 4 meters up, create a stairway that leads in between the 2, and then build them there. So that's what we're going to do. I did think about different ways I could lay it out, but this just seems to be... It seems... I don't know, the most straightforward, I suppose, is just to raise the foundations a little bit and then build over this area, rather than have my life determined by it and everything I do. Can I... thank you. Why can't I... You need biofuel. Oh, I thought I could use regular fuel, no? That sucks. Okay, I guess I'm making biofuel. That's a good point. I forgot I could just use these. Ah, that was my last bomb as well. I have loads. I just keep putting everything away because I'm always out of space. Alrighty. I was only really like 1 tile short, so it just means that we have to grab this and stack it to there, go all the way out, and then just kind of build this area. Oh my god, sorry. And then just kind of build this area out and over again, same way we did before. But now I'm going to be creating a stairwell, so it means just a little one. So it means that I have to go 1 over further than I was anticipating. So about to there should do, and maybe even 1 further if I want to be able to walk beyond it. Alright, let me just get rid of the power poles. And then, yeah, just pave this entire place. Do I have the... Yeah, I've got steel and concrete in the truck as well, so we'll use that. Alright, there we go. So we got a brand new foundation 4 meters up above the one we were working with. So just create a little stairwell that kind of guides us up there, and it'll be totally fine. It might need to extend out 1 extra tile over. I'll just check that in a moment. But let's just get back to the task at hand, which is adding more and more refineries. So these ones line up there, and it would have to go to about there. And then it needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, forward. I think so, anyway. And that should be, just to kind of judge, I think it is in line with those ones at the back. I think so. Alright. Then we just grab this and rotate around, and we just line them up on that line right about there. So this does need to go out further. Looks like just 1 foundation, maybe even 2. Trying to think, is that lined? That's aligned now, and then it needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be that. So that's the same spacing between them now, I think. Let me just double check. They actually seem further apart than they need to be. Oh yeah, they are. Oh my god. Alright, so I can actually bring that in. So the spacing is actually correct then. I just overdid it. So there, right? I think so. It just seems like that's too close, but I guess that is the way it is. Yeah, nice. Alright. and their mergers are like hooked up together basically this way, so that's good. So yeah, let's just get the power poles. I'm just going to extend it down the center just temporarily so I can fly. And then we'll see what's going on. Alright, so let's go grab our thing, and we'll just extend these out. I should have all the materials I need to do it, and I'm pretty sure it's right. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that'll be it. That's number 10. And then we need another 9 on this side yet again. Alrighty. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, and then the final pipe, we'll just need to add on a couple extra ones somewhere else. I haven't decided where they're going to go yet, but what I got to do now is actually just hook these pipes up together. I guess we could just do this real quick. So if I go into the customizer and we go to the pipeline swatch, this is the thing that kind of confuses me with the pipeline swatch. Oh yeah, so I'll say pipes. Actually, I can do this. Just go pipes, yeah? And that's turned off for that one now. Good. And then I can just set this to be gold. And it doesn't really matter, but set that to be black. So that's now set to pipes. So if I grab a pipe like this, and I just go straight up, it should be... Oh, no, it's not yellow. Why would it be, huh? What about if they're both gold? Gold, select, right-click, pipes, concrete, pipes. Let's see if it does it now next time. So I'll just grab it, join it on, see if it does it. No. Don't know why. I've got nothing that's colored black in this whole thing, so I don't know why it would do that, but it is what it... And this just changed color to red. I mean, why did that happen? Why the hell did that happen? Yeah, it's obviously just completely messed up. It's funny, though, because that is the color it needs to be. It needs to be crimson. Yeah, weird. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, let's just join all these pipes together. This is going to be a pipe of 400 heading that way, and then we'll have loads of open water to kind of build the generators. 140 generators seems like... I mean, at the moment, I've got 40, and it takes up a lot of space, so now I need to triple that. So it's kind of extreme. That's what you got to do. We need that power. And that's nothing then compared to the power we're going to need later on down the line, but that'll at least get us going for the oscillator factory, the heavy modular frame factory. Bunch of the things that are going to put us in position to then go for the bigger ones like nuclear power. Alright, we are all hooked up under there as well. Alright, and these all have their recipes set already. We just need to actually get the train moving. So let's go refer to our to-do list. So freight platforms are done. The foundations of this area is now done. The refineries, the 42 refineries have been put down, or at least the 40. And then we need fuel generators. And then the waste logistics of the polymer resin. So still kind of quite a bit to go. 140 generators will be next. So knowing that fuel is going to be flowing out this way, we need to now build a room that just has stacks of generators in a massive line, probably heading straight out that way, because that's where all the space is. So I'm going to have to go crazy with huge amounts of foundations out this way again. And then figure out a layout for this kind of thing. So I'll just kind of work on the foundations for space. I guess technically I shouldn't have hit the to-do list on that because it's not done, but it was for the foundations for the refineries are done. But yeah, we're coming way out now. But if we just have a look... Generator... Yeah, so I just need rubber. I've got, obviously this place makes rubber. We've got loads here. It takes up a huge amount of space. So it's basically a, from what I recall, you could push it in 2 little bits each, and that centers it. But obviously we have to build so many that we don't want to even do that. We want to just stack them together. So I wonder, just trying to work out like how much space I'll need first. So fuel generator, and then we also have to work it out via based on what pipe does what. So 400, and they consume 12. So 400 divided by 12, 33 and a third. That makes it kind of awkward. I guess Alright, sorry, I got just a little bit bogged down in the numbers there for a second. So basically, we're going to be outputting 1,680 fuel. And that can feed evenly 140 generators, because it's 12, each of them take 12 per minute. But in order to get it just to line up a bit even nicer, we can break down one of these pipes. So both of these are doing 400, hopefully. So we'll break one of them in half, and that'll be 200 that goes, you know, into here somewhere. And that creates a pipe coming out of 600. A nice even 600 maxed out pipe can feed 50 fuel generators. So one line, we're going to have 50 fuel generators being handled from that. The next remaining 200 then will go over to the other side and do the same thing. It'll join onto this 400, and then we're going to have a nice and even 600 again on a pipe feeding another 50 generators. And then finally, the final 400 here on its own is going to merge with the last 3. We have to build these, actually. I haven't built them yet. The next 3 refineries. And that's going to do 480 or something like that for us. So 480 in total will feed the remainder of the fuel generators. I'm not sure how much they are, but that's basically the way it's going to work. So we need 2 straight lines of 600 feeding 50 generators each. So that's like the minimum of what we got to get going. All right, let's get to it. All right, so for this many fuel generators, I need 1,400 heavy modular frames. I don't have that. I've got 400. And I thought that was a lot. So it's going to take quite a while to get all this up and running. So I won't be able to do everything now, but I'll try to do the most I can. So let me just get rid of some of the crap in my inventory I don't really need anymore. I'm keeping those presents forever, though. You can't make me get rid of those. I'll put some wood in here, whatever. So what do I not need? I don't need any this. Don't need plastic, right? No, I do, sorry. Oh, we don't need that much. So plastic, quick wire, rubber, motors. So where are my motors? Here's my motors. Oh my god. Take all those. Drop the alclad, drop the reinforced sheets. Do we need steel beams? Don't think so. Alright, take these. Take the quick wire. I mean, that allows us to build a few. We'll have to just make runs, make trips. I can't fill up my inventory completely. But that'll be good enough for a while. Alright, let's determine the spacing at least. Alright guys, I just thought I would explain while I'm doing some of the pipe logistics here what's going on. So effectively, I've laid out about 50 fuel generators. And I'm pretty much out of materials now, right? I'm out of heavy modular frames. I'm out of computers. And motors that I'll have to make a run for, that kind of thing, right? So I'll have to go pretty far to go get some of these materials to get everything in place and ready again. And I don't know how many heavy modular frames I have. I need another 700. My guess is I've got about 200 waiting for me. Because I'm making them manually. I'm just feeding storage boxes with the materials and then they're just making them. So it's not a long-term solution, obviously. That's part of the reason why we need more power first. But I'm also out of space. If we go any further, I'm going to hit those kind of gas rocks and basically run into Circuit City. And if I go the other way, I'm going to hit some rock arches and things like that. So what I was thinking is this bottom floor here has 50 generators, which is enough for 600 fuel. Right, so we can hook up one group of those refineries to make 600 fuel. And we can just start feeding this bottom area first, get the power flowing, as it were, and make our first oil delivery here. So we're kind of like saying I've done it, we're a third of the way there. But once that happens, then I'll let power and materials build up for a while in the background, and then we can start on floor 2. So the second floor is just going to be a duplicate of this floor, effectively. And we can build up towards that rock arch. So I'll build a sky bridge that leads over there, similar to the sky bridge I have over in Blue Crater. So it might not be the most efficient thing, building tall with pipes, right? Because I have to pump the liquid up. But the good news is it's only one pump, because it's only going to be one set of generators up there. At most 2, so 2 pipes maybe. So it's not that expensive, and it'll only need 1 pump each. 1 Mark II pump will take us there, no problem. So that's kind of the plan for now. But I just wanted to hook this up because I want to kind of wrap up. But obviously I want to be able to get some payoff here in this episode, just for myself even, of having things run. That's not correct, sorry. This is a fuel line, not a crude oil line. Got confused with the colors, so it needs to go there. Actually, this can go like this. And that will go in there. And just temporarily, I'm just going to ugly hook this up. So what would also have to happen is this needs to merge too. And I'll probably turn off the machines. Oh yeah, I have to hook up the logistics for handling the crap, the polymer resin. I'll do that as well. So these ones are actually hooked up to power also, just really lazily. Yeah, and these are hooked up now. So that's the fuel. That's the fuel that'll make its way out. That's 600. In fact, it's more than 600, but 600 is the max that can even travel on this pipe, right? So that's fine. Let's just get rid of these power poles. Right, so yeah, I'm only going to need one group, so I don't have to worry about powering the other groups right now. So we'll just power these ones on. But to do that, I'm going to have to build the mergers and sink the polymer resin. Otherwise, this is just going to get backed up immediately and do nothing. So it's going to have to go like that, is it? No, it's too far forward. I don't know why it's... I guess it's lining up to something else. So about there. So I'll just do that several times over and hook all of these up together. Once that's done, we should be pretty much ready to go with calling the train. Alrighty, so I've hooked it all up to power and I've cut the power of these bottom 5 because they're not going to be used anyway. We're just merging the pipes. We want 600 fuel coming out of here. They would be producing 800, so we're cutting 5 off. That gives us 600 in total. Merged at the end, and that 600 is then hopefully going to flow along into all of the fuel generators. Now, I've thrown this down very haphazardly, very quickly, because I know that the train's going to be here any minute. But other than that, I think we're looking good. Now remember, in between the fuel generators, these will be walkways. Hopefully glass walkways, some railing. We'll put a nice roof on this place and have some... Maybe here, a big stairwell, similar to how I have one over there. A stairwell here might be cool to go up. That would allow us access to the second floor in here. Alright, let's head back over to the train station and we'll see what the situation is in terms of where this train is. I guess actually we technically don't need to. We can just look at our map, right? So let's just do that. That's the compact coal delivery. We've got the turbo train with Blue Crater oil gaining on it right behind. So I was looking on Satisfactory calculator.com. You can load your save into there. And what's really cool about it is actually it shows you this map, but it shows you it in... Like, it shows you every single power pole you have, and shows you all the pipes you have, and stuff like that. The reason I did it was because you may remember when I built this train station down by the... by the Blue Crater oil, it wasn't... I don't know if you remember, but it was offset just slightly. And people said, like, oh, I streamed, and I was like, oh, it's so annoying, you know, I didn't align it to the world grid. And people were like, oh, if you go to the site, upload your save, you can just move things. Now, I didn't actually end up doing it, but I did go to the site to have a look at stuff. The reason I didn't end up doing it is because I just ended up rebuilding the whole thing anyway. So it didn't matter. Here's our train, by the way. It's coming in hot. But I just thought I'd mention that. I'm sure lots of people already know about that site, but it's really great. I just think the UI is really brilliant because it shows you everything. Like, it'd be nice if in this, and I'm sure they know, Coffee Stain, it'd be nice if in that menu you could toggle on and see where your power poles are and all different sorts of things. What's your problem? Path signal not working. Block signal not working. That should work. Let's see if I can just pop it down fresh. Sometimes... Yeah. It just wasn't... Because it was there on the edge before the connection. It wasn't recognizing the connection. But it's all good. If we just have a quick look. Yeah, we're full up. We are full up. Did I make it the right height? Or length, even? Yes, we did. Sweet. Alright. And it's going to be coming out here. Unloading. And then flooding down. So, the reason I haven't built any big fluid buffers is because they sort of act like fluid buffers. They can hold 2400 anyway. And then below we have the smaller ones. So, they should be fine. Alright. It's a lot of hard work has gone into this working out. And we're still not even done yet. But there should be a gain of... Well, we'll have a look in a moment, actually. But I think we're going to gain about 7,000 megawatts of power. Alright, we are filling up nicely. So that's going into this one. So a lot of these aren't going to go anywhere. But we're going to wait for that round trip now. That train is going to make that round trip all the way back and come back here. And I'll quickly run upstairs to see, do we drain that 1600 Or does it fill up on itself? Alright, so the pipes have, they have oil in them. Which means our refinery should get cooking. So it's this pipe and that pipe are the ones that are... They should have the same amount in them. And they're going to flow down here and start working. And this one's already on. Making our fuel and then our... Excuse me, it's quite smoky. Oh, there we go, the polymer resin. Yeah, it just flew out so fast I didn't even see it. And that's going straight into the awesome sink, so no big deal. So let's just quickly have a look. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, which is a bit weird, but I'm going to stick a valve here. And just lock it. I'm going to wait for this to fill up with fuel. And then we'll release the valve to go into the generators, hopefully. And that just prevents it trickling amongst 50, you know? So yeah, our max consumption is 1600 megawatts. Wow. That's a lot. It's double what we're currently producing and actually actively consuming. I imagine that's a lot of the refineries that we just put down are probably counting for a lot. So the refineries cost 30. And we're going with 42. So if we go 42 times 30 megawatts of power, that's 1260 megawatts of power. I'm just going to write that down. That's our consumption. 1260, at least at this factory. It's not counting the pumps where we get our oil. Sorry, I put a pen in my mouth. So that's 1260. And then we have 50 fuel generators making 150 each. So that's 7,500 is what we get out of here. 7,500. Now just really quickly, I can remember oil extractor. I don't want to make one. I wanted to check its power consumption. Can I do it in here? Production oil extractor. So that's 40. And then we have 5 of them, and they're all overclocked. So I'll have to... It'll be just easier if I go and just check the numbers and work it all out. But I'm wondering what the net benefit is. You know, we're going to get... Ideally, 140 generators times 150 power. So it's going to be 21,000 power. And we're probably going to spend about, I would imagine, 2,500 power to get there. So that's not bad. Still should be a gain of about 18,000. So vastly increasing what we're doing right now, right? Our production is... And the reason it's going up and down is because when I was out exploring, I turned on the geothermal generators. So yeah, we're at about 10,000, so we should go up to about 30,000. Round about there. And that gives us room to double what we currently have in terms of machines. So that's good. Alright, let's release this valve. We're now full. Let them do their thing, and we should see power starting to rise now. I'm amazed the batteries didn't kick in. Or maybe they did, because it's a lot of refineries. Thought that was the train back already. No, they're full charge and everything, yeah. Cool. Everything's working. We just need to tidy it up. Which is no problem at all. Yeah, all the refineries are on. Good. No problems there. Fuel's actually getting... Well, of course it's getting backed up. I prevented it from escaping for a while. Yep, fuel generators are coming online. We can see them jostling. Excellent. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. So they'll just need to flood the pipes for a while so they can become consistent. And then power should stay online. But it's going to just keep climbing, I guess, while these things keep producing fuel. So let's head back up to the train station. Ooh, little voice crack. Head back up to the train station and see where we're at in terms of where that train's coming back in. So it ain't here yet. We have, we need to check the ones that are actually emptying their fuel. So I'll just fly down to this one. So they're down to about 200. But they're only delivering 1,600 in each one. Compact coal deliveries there. Blue Crater oil is just pulling into... Oh no, it's on the way. Yeah, it's on the way. Well, that's good. So we're on 160. Yeah, I'll be quite interested to see have I worked this out right. If I haven't, the worst case is just you add a second train. But that would be a bit of a pain. They're quite long trains. They take up a bit of space. Now, that's not to say that that's the only place there's fuel. There is fuel, obviously, in the pipes, and there's fuel probably a little bit hanging around in the buffers for a moment. Oh, the buffer's actually full. Yeah, so that's great then. So no problem, actually, then. We should really be looking at these buffers by the time the train gets here, which is great. Yeah, it's just about to empty, and our train is about a minute away. So that's fine. So you're empty. Good. That's no problem. And then your buffers obviously have room for a little while. So I just really want to keep an eye on this because the first time we looked at it, see where we're at by the time the train arrives. If my math has all been done correctly, this train should arrive before those buffers empty. Or at least, at the very least, before the pipes empty. And it's right there. It's so close. And then we'll just quickly check back on the power. But yeah, looking at it, I mean, we've got 300, so I mean, I think it's going to make it. We can actually see it coming now. What a beast. My hands are trembling. What a beast. And that bad boy should be full up again, you know? Oh no, it's stopping a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of traffic. Well, it's not necessarily traffic. While it works out the path signals, it slows down. Because the junctions are quite close together. People had told me, like, if you spaced your path signals out, it can kind of determine that path ahead of time without having to slow down a bit. Alright, so obviously the fuel won't get... well, just to be damn sure... I'm sure there's 1,600 in here. Yep, good. You're full. Excellent. And obviously that would take a few trips to really work this out for sure, but I would guarantee that back at the oil blue crater, they are filling up those buffers in there as well. So we're at 150 in the buffer just by the time the train has arrived. We'll wait for that beep. And that'll give us a good indication of where we're at. Alright, so we're at about 100. About 90 was left in this buffer before it's now going to start filling back up. Perfect. Fucking nailed it. Alright. Love to see it. So just don't ever have any traffic where that train slows down, and we're fine. Easy as that. Alright, let's see how many of these... the very last thing just to check on really quickly is how many of these fuel generators are on now. Almost all. So we're just looking at the final maybe 10. If we add them all up, about the final 10 or 12 haven't had their power yet, and they'll be sputtering a little bit for a while. But power has now climbed to almost meet demand. You know, that blue line's been up at the top for a long time. Now the grey line is just about to touch, which is what we want to see. Actually, production is, yeah, pretty close too. Excellent. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this episode, I think. So 50 generators, you know, it's about a third of the amount I was hoping to get done, but of course we just need far more heavy modular frames, and we have basically the blueprint now to just build this floor again on top of itself, feeding those pipes in the same way. Power on the second row of refineries, do the very same thing. We'll find something to do with the polymer resin, I'm sure. And then we have to add on just the final little bits of, what's it called? Just the final few refineries to handle that little excess that comes out of here. So this end buffer only takes in 150 oil per minute, in theory. So because of that, we just need like 3 or 4 refineries, something like that. And then we're golden. So yeah, and then I'll hopefully spend some time and try to dress this place up in between episodes too, just a little bit. Alright, that's going to have to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your feedback and ideas for the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Consider liking it if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and if you want to support even further, consider becoming a channel member. Channel members get early access to my videos, ad-free, and also access to my Discord, where we've just set up a new Valheim and Satisfactory server for people to play on. Hopefully we can grow a community and add more games and perks in the future. Either way, I appreciate people just watching this far into the video. Thank you.